Peace, everybody. This is Divine is Earth coming back to you again for the AQBAM Academy for Women, Women's Healthy Inside and Out. And this is Saturday. And I wanted to give some tips that I hadn't posted or typed on the show, but I thought it was better for me to actually speak on it. And like this morning, I made my infusion last night. And as you can see, this is an old jar. I didn't even peel it off good. If you're looking for jars, I rarely buy mason jars. I use old salsa jars, pickle jars, and things like that. The main thing is you want to be sure that the mouth is wide. So you don't want to use a jar that's thin that you can't really pour all your water in and get your herbs in good. And this infusion I made has nettle, peppermint, and alfalfa. And I made it late last night, and I'm drinking it today, and it's good. So, oh, that's good. I'm gonna drink some more. And so keep all those jars. They taxing you anyway. That's why it's about between $3 and $5 for those. You know, when you buy something that's in a jar like that, keep that glass. Don't throw that glass away. Peel it off. I was lazy, but if you soak it in some hot water, that the labels will come right off, and some of those things are on there so cheap anyway. You can just peel it off and it doesn't even stick. And so another thing I wanted to speak about, and you can also keep your loose herbs in there. For instance, I bought this bag of herbs from an online shop of herbs, and this is my peppermint, and it comes in this bag like this. Now, for right now, that's okay because I just got it, and I'm keeping it in an area. This is my office that stays pretty cool, and so it's okay. But I prefer once I start breaking it down to smaller batches and mixing them up, to put them in bigger glass jars. And then that's the way I like to keep my loose herbs. I prefer loose herbs other than the tea bags. I think you get more for your money when you buy loose herbs. If I don't get it off the internet, there's a town right next to me that because y'all know I live in a small town, so the next place over is another small town. And it's an herb shop. It's not a health food store. It's a shop that sells loose bulk herbs, and the woman that runs it sells it, by the ounce. She take it out her jar and she weighs it and everything. And so that's how I usually like to buy my herbs, loose. And pardon me, my baby, which is 2, he's been fussing, and one thing that's why I'm taking my nettles and things like that. But she's getting better. I think she's having another teething thing. So anyway, and get her some milk. She wants to play. So anyway, so places that you can buy your herbs, if you have to get them in box tea form from a health food store, some good brands I think are Yogi, Traditional Medicinals, and Alvita. I really like Alvita more than any of them because Alvita does the ones that's not mixed. Like if you just want Ostral, they have Ostral. You just want Valerian, they have Valerian. But another tea, if all you have is you have to stop and go to your grocery store, Celestial Seasonings, the one with the teddy bear on it. I used to call it the tea with the teddy bear on it because my mother had been using it for years for chamomile. Well, now they have a mix which is called Sleepy Time Extra. I want to say Sleepy Time Extra because the regular Sleepy Time is just like chamomile and some other flowers. But Sleepy Time Extra has chamomile and valerian. And it's pretty good brand. And you can smell it because valerian is stinky. So when you're looking at the quality of herbs, you want to look at the smell, the freshness, even if it's dry. If a plant is properly dried, you should still be able to smell it. If you can't, it smells because certain herbs have certain smells. And so peppermint should be strong. I don't care. Peppermint should be a strong smell even when it's dry. And sometimes drying an herb brings out more of its smell and aroma anyway. So just make sure that wherever you get your herbs from, that it's high quality. So if you have to get the tea bags and you're not ordering offline off another healer or herbalist, make sure, to me, some good brands are Traditional Medicinals, Alvita. Alvita comes in a white box with a blue stripe across it, and then Yogi. And I like Yogi's pregnancy blends. You know, I think it's the one called Mamas to Be. And so that's pretty good if you're not mixing herbs yourself, okay? And you can always do that. So, you know, don't make yourself feel like you're cheating because you're doing that. You just have to do that sometimes. Also, the Botanica, if your local Botanica, sometimes have herbs. Usually it'll be hyssop, mullein. They'll have some other herbs, but you have to be very careful because some of these places are snake oil salesmen and ain't no telling what's in those bags. So, and that's not saying all of them. Some of them may be making sure they're getting their herbs from the right place because every herb has a vibration, which is why it is used in some spiritual practices. So if that stuff isn't real, and you should be mindful of this if you use herbs for just strictly spiritual reasons too. If those herbs at the Botanica is not right and exact, why do you want to use them? You know, because herbs it needs to have a vibration too. Even when it dries, it has an energy. And so you acknowledge this even when you're picking your herbs, okay? So that's just an aside for if you do, you know, that's the only place in the hood, in the neighborhood, that may have had some herbs. I know for a fact usually they'll keep a hyssop or a mullein, you know, because hyssop is all through the Bible. And the funny thing is, I give you a little a hint or something, and I always try to bring it back to traditional healing with myself. Most herbs that they say that is said to repel evil spirits and negative energy. Most of those herbs also bring up phlegm, mucus. They clean you out. So remember, in African traditional healing, if you were sick, it wasn't just a physical sickness. It was something that manifested spiritually, metaphysically, emotionally. And so this lineage has been taken through them saying, you know, or this herb is to, you know, keep the this, that, and the other out. But it also will bring up phlegm and mucus. So that's a little note for you. Most herbs, if not, I've yet to hear one herb yet that's used, an herb. I'm not talking about some of those others. I've not, usually I can find a medicinal quality to it. Usually, and that's the type of person I am. I like to work from the folklore, our family's herbal teachings, and then bring it back to, okay, what does it do for the body? And I usually find out that it really does connect. Okay, and so that's a place to keep it. Make sure you have your jars. Also, I want to let everybody know that I know that everybody is busy. Don't stress. All of this information, bookmark the websites, save the documents, and come back to it, revisit it. And all next week is finals. So have some time, give yourself time to revisit those subjects and sometime, because it's some really good information that's being posted, and all the instructors have given, and I know I've given some good information for herbs and some websites that you definitely should bookmark, that I even have bookmarked, so I know they're good. And just have that, and being a woman, a mother, a queen, I want you all to ask questions if you don't feel like you're competent or can brew up something quick for, say, if your child is sick or your mate is sick. Ask those questions, because I say if you this week, you at least should know how to brew up one formula for one issue, and then add on from there. You know, and remember, herbal healing is consistent healing. You cannot just take a herb one day or just take one herb and think that a serious ailment or some chronic ailments are going to be healed by one tea, one herb, one day, and then be like, oh, well, that herb didn't work. Well, no, you have an issue that's maybe it's been in 20 years, 10 years, 30 years. So you have to use a regimen. And so that's why I keep using that word, regimen. It's going to take 3 or 4 herbs, okay, working together. Herbs taken internally, herbs taken internally from the vagina, even sometimes. Herbs that's going to be used in a salve on your chest, on your throat, on your face. That's why I'm doing the oil bathing and talking to you about breathing, the oxygen, all of this connected. That's holistic healing, dealing with the whole person, not separating. So make sure you don't get caught up with just partridge berry, which is squalvine, or just red raspberry leaf, or just donquois, or just charcoal, or just motherwort. You need to, if depending on your said issue, you want to use a combination, and you want to make sure you have a regimen. So with that, I say peace.